By DMV Real Estate, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Today we're so happy and grateful to be with you, and I have with me special guest here, Les SIBERT with Royal Realty. And
hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube.
Share with us all about real estate, his experience with real estate in the DMV area. First, let's tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in real estate.
Well, first of all, let me say, I love your name. You have the same name as my sister, and she's my favorite sibling.
Well, thank you. I like that.
I'll put that out there at the beginning. I've been in, like you said, real estate for over 10 years. Licensed in Maryland and DC. My introduction to real estate was actually with my parents.
Okay.
My father was a contractor. My mother was a real estate agent.
Okay.
And thinking back, they used to both drag me to work. Me and all my siblings. Father would take us to work with him, as he fixed up houses. There we learned lay tile, paint, and my mother being a real estate agent, she would take us with her as she previewed homes.
Okay. Yeah.
And she went on appointments. So I guess later on in life, I guess it lay dormant for a while.
Yeah.
And was just reawakened, as I grew older. And so here I am now.
So it was born in you. Yeah. Right.
It was in me from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like it, as a kid I would rather be home looking at cartoons or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was out working.
Yeah. Once real estate's in your blood, that's it. You're stuck, right?
You're stuck. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. Even you can enjoy it, of course.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Real estate is great.
Yeah.
What do you like most about real estate?
I really enjoy working with my clients.
Okay.
Seeing, anytime you're contacted by either buyer, seller, renter, there's a need. They have a need. They want something down. They're either going from a less desirable place or a distressful place, and you're responsible for taking them to the greater.
Right. That's exciting, right?
It's very exciting, and you get the praise once it's all over. The gratitude from them, and that is the most enjoyable thing. I know a lot of people say, it's good money. It is good money in real estate. Yeah. But the satisfaction of knowing that you've helped someone is the greater for me.
Yeah, with the most important transaction of their lifetime, basically.
Basically the largest and most important.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us what has been your best experience in real estate?
Best experience? Actually, I've been in real estate, as I said, over 10 years. But my most important transaction actually occurred like last year.
Okay,
exactly.
Tell us about that.
So I was representing the buyer.
Okay.
And there was a distressed property on the market, short sale.
Okay.
And he was interested. He had to have it. So we wrote an offer for it.
Okay.
But first thing we did was, which I suggest to everyone, is to, determine how many liens on the property that are being shorted.
Okay. Yeah.
First lien, second lien. Are there any judgments? Are there any tax liens, things like that?
Mm-hmm.
And this one property had like all of them.
Everything, really?
It had
Wow.
everything that had to be negotiated.
Oh, wow.
So, we're not allowed to negotiate it. Real estate's not allowed to negotiate it, but the seller hired a negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually took a year to have most of the
liens and things out there
negotiated and removed. And there was just one lien that was being stubborn, and they wouldn't remove it. It's actually a state tax lien.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are difficult.
Exactly,
yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah.
They didn't want, because they know they have a solid position.
Yeah.
They're going to get paid. So they give us a hard time, negotiate a hard time removing it. And time just went on. A year went by, a couple months after that went by, and everything was stagnant.
Yeah.
So what I did was I contacted the title company.
Okay.
And I asked the title company, could they send me over a copy of the lien? I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Which they could do, because that's public.
It's public information. Right.
Exactly. They sent me a copy of the lien, and I looked down at the bottom of it. The first page is like a letterhead.
Mm-hmm.
I looked down at the bottom. It had the address and the phone number the people that filed the lien.
Okay, for the lien holder.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
okay.
the negotiators hadn't even done that. They were doing Google searches and contacting the State Department and everything.
And it was right
but
on
it
there?
was right on the first page at the bottom.
My goodness.
I contacted
Wow.
them. The person answered the phone, connected me to the manager. The manager simply said, look, at this point, we've had so many people trying to sell the properties, and they couldn't because our tax lien attached to the property. So that property, a lot of properties in foreclosure.
Yeah.
Because of that tax lien.
Right.
So they simply told me that they've changed their method, and that now they're just simply releasing the lien with, you know, the approval of certain other documents. And I was like, okay, cool. Sounds simple. I gave the person's name and the phone number to the title company. The title company contacted them, gave them all the information they needed.
Yeah.
They removed the lien in 4 days.
Wow. See, good for you for getting in there and actually doing that.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
It took
You
them a year and a half.
Right.
It only took me 30
4
minutes.
days, yeah, right.
4
It's
days,
like,
basically.
to get it done.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it took that long because the person that removes the lien was on vacation. They'd be back in like
And
3
that's
days.
why, yeah.
So it could have took it a day.
That's amazing. You
Isn't
just
amazing?
got in there and did
Exactly.
it. Good for
Leg
you.
work.
Yeah.
You got to do leg work.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you do. You really do in this
Yeah,
business. You
absolutely.
actually have to wear all these hats.
Absolutely, you
You
do.
know, you keep
do.
going. Now, what about the worst experience? Any worst bad experiences?
Any of my bad experiences are those that don't go to settlement.
Right. So don't settle.
All of them, they
Yeah.
have to say sold on it to be a good
Yeah.
experience. That was probably one of the worst.
Yeah.
The story that I just told you.
Yeah.
But it ended up being the best. So the
Yeah.
worst and the best.
Okay.
At the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a great story. I mean, you just got in there and got it done.
There you go.
Now, Les here has been on HGTV, House Hunters, and share some of that experience with us. I mean, that's awesome.
Right. I had the privilege of being on a television show representing the seller. I was representing the buyer. I was the buyer's agent, of course.
Yeah.
People ask me,
Right.
well, what did I do? I'm like, well, I sell houses, so I represent the buyer, of course. But yeah, I was had the privilege of representing a buyer, and her mother was tagged along with us during the show. So we searched for her home in the Fort DuPont. I think it's the Fort DuPont area of DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still looking at Deanwood for DuPont in that area, and she actually wrote to the show, contacted the producers. Producers contacted me. 3 weeks later, they were flying the film crew down here.
Crew in?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to say. If you see the show, go to dmvhousehunter.com. You can find the show, and it was a wonderful buyer that I worked with, and her mother. They had such great personality, great synergy with one another. You know, I got a lot of hits from YouTube that, you know, comments where they said, you know, it's the greatest show.
It was a great show.
Yeah, you saw it, and it was very entertaining.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, going through the whole process. You're famous.
Right? Thank you. My famous of fame.
Right. That's awesome. Right. And now this, right?
And now this, exactly.
So tell me, I guess, what motivates you about real estate? What do you like so much about real estate? Yeah.
I like what motivates me is it's really, as I mentioned before, taking a person from their, you know, where they may find it to be distressful. Yeah. They could be going through a separation, and they have to get out of there.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
You know, having landlord troubles. Yeah. You know, relocating, whatever it may be.
Yeah, just helping people in general. Yeah.
Taking them to that greater. So the one thing that I always do is when I approach a client, I approach them with a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You know, approach them with a smile, let them know, let them feel my energy, let them feel that, you know, they've contacted a source that could get them from one point to the next. Right. Because I, for the most part, know that I can. Yeah. As real estate agents, we know that we can do it. Right. You know. Right. Depending on the situation, but most of the time we are able to help them. Yeah. You know, if they're cooperative with such a seller, if their seller is willing to price their house right. Yeah. If they listen to us with the things that we ask them to do, you know, tidy up, position the furniture a certain way, you know, declutter, depersonalize the house. Right. You know, if they listen to those things, then we're pretty confident that we do the house. So price the house correctly, as I mentioned before. Buyers, similar. If they listen to the lender that we recommend, or their own personal lender, you know, do what they're told to do, then the lender is confident they can get them from point A to point B. Right,
right. What areas do you cover?
I'm licensed in Maryland and DC.
Okay.
My comfort zone though is all of Washington DC
Okay.
and Prince George's County,
Okay.
Waldorf. So from Waldorf all the way over around the Beltway to Laurel.
Okay.
And
It's a big area.
Exactly. I'm all up and down the highway. You see me flying up and down the highway. Those areas, and I've sold houses as far as Frederick, Maryland, and Abingdon, but
wow, you've been all over the place.
Yeah, I've been all over the place,
Wow.
but
Wow. So
my
he's
comfort
everywhere,
zone,
you guys.
exactly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Exactly.
So let's say we're working with a first-time home buyer. Basically, what advice would you give a first-time home buyer that's actually out there? They're thinking about, okay, I really don't want to rent anymore. I'm thinking about buying. What should I do? What should my first move be?
Your first move should be to, and everybody's natural move is to educate themselves to a certain degree. Whether it's a small degree, large degree. Everybody wants to go online, start looking first, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you can get kind of stirred in the wrong direction and get a lot of information that's not true.
All the stuff coming at you. Yeah,
So I think my generic response is going to be contact a real estate agent.
Okay.
We're trained. We're educated on how to purchase or help people purchase property. Yeah. We're out there practicing. Full-time agents, of course, practice on daily.
Yeah.
And then even part-time agents, they still practice somewhat. But we pretty much have to keep ourselves up to date.
Right. You live, sleep, and breathe real estate, right? 24/7.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be the best advice I would give someone.
Yeah.
And you can learn so much and benefit so much because when we read, the first thing we're going to do is, if you're getting a loan for a property, we're going to direct you to a lender, refer you to a lender.
Right.
Unless you have your own that you prefer to use.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes there maybe hesitation on some of my buyers to contact their own lender.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would get the name of your bank and the phone number, and I'd contact the bank and find out the person to contact.
Okay.
And
you stay with it. Yeah.
I'd even ask them if they have any programs for this first-time home buyer, and find out more about their process.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'd give the phone number to the buyer and have them kind of make that connection.
Okay.
But that would be the first.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's the most important thing to do is to, as I said, reach out to a real estate agent. Most people ask a friend or family member.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're asking everybody who they're supposed to ask.
Because usually when a person purchases a house,
yeah.
then the people that have been on the fence to standing by watching, then they come off the fence and ask, okay, well, how did you do it? Who's your real estate agent?
Yeah.
And so that's how we get out. That's how our phone rings.
Right. Yeah.
Because of these referrals.
Yeah, and one of the things basically is to make sure first that you're pre-approved, so that we are not out there looking at properties online all over the place and you don't know exactly how much you approve for. You can fall in love with your dream house and then find out that you're not able to, be able to pay or make the payment, or don't want the payment for the dream house because it's too much or something.
Well, I spend time on that first conversation.
You sit down with your buyers and
Absolutely.
you go through the
even on the telephone, just gather information from them to find out where they are, and then of course I want you to come into the office and sit down and we have a consultation.
Okay.
And that way, by the time we're finished having the discussion, I want you to be pretty much floating out of the office. You've gained so much information. You've been so enlightened that now, you feel as though, you feel empowered.
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
Yeah, because there's, and then, going back, there's so many laws and so many things out there to find out about, when you're actually looking at real estate.
Exactly. And that's another reason that's very important to contact an agent, is because we're abreast of all. We've learned the laws. And we have to keep ourselves abreast. Every 2 years, we have to take our continuing education courses.
To keep us going,
Exactly.
Updated with all the laws.
All the laws and best practices and ethics and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So that's, what about a seller? Seller is thinking about putting their home on the market. You go walk through the property, I guess, as far as advice. What advice would you give a seller right now?
There's so many different websites out there.
Yeah.
That sellers, they go and they do their research. They see the prices, they see their neighbor homes that's been sold, the one over in the next subdivision, and they get themselves empowered.
Right, it's overwhelming with all the information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some of it's true, most of it's not. It's, you know, but you need a professional that's going to
absolutely,
that's going to clarify things, clear things up, you know, almost squash some of the things some of you learn and kind of relay your mind with truthful information.
Right.
You know, it's important for them to get the CMA, the comparative market analysis, which they're going to get from the MLS, which I believe only real estate agents have access to, right?
Right.
Yeah. And those are true sales. You know, those are some of the properties are live. You need to know what properties has expired in your neighborhood, which ones were withdrawn. Those help to determine how quickly or slow, whatever, your property could sell. Okay. It's important to hire a real estate agent for sellers because, wow, you know, we would come into your house and we would help you determine, you know, if a certain rooms need to be staged or decluttered or depersonalized.
Depersonalized, right?
It's important.
It's huge.
It's huge. Depersonalization is taking the trophies from the shelf, removing the pictures of the family or friends or any pictures, remove it from the walls because you want to buy a buyer that's interested in purchasing your home to feel as though it's their home, not they're coming into somebody else's home.
Right.
So, real estate agents are, you know, we have that special skill. For helping you to reposition your furniture. You know. You know. Do it all. Absolutely. You know, all those are very important and could be critical to the sale of your home. And help you get more or less. You know, more. You know, and prevent you from getting less.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, doing some updates, some
updates.
cosmetic
Exactly.
Like
we may ask you to, you know, touch up that little scar on the wall you got from moving your couch. You know, anything like that. You know? We try to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. We don't want you to have to repaint a room. Although there was a listing that I took in Potomac, Maryland, and the lady's sons, I think they lived in the basement. Okay, and they had turned the basement into a studio or something, video studio or something. So I go into the basement, it's so dark. I'm like, flip the light switches as I'm going down the steps. It's so dark down here. And I noticed the light was flipping on and off. Okay, so cool. So I go down there, and the entire basement was black.
Oh, no.
The entire basement was painted black. And they had pictures up so the pictures pop out. Exactly. And they had it looked nice for their purpose. But that's the one thing I had to have them paint the entire basement a neutral color.
They listened. Oh,
They
great.
did it over the weekend. And it was beautiful when it was done.
Oh, good job. You got them to listen a lot.
Exactly. Right? Well, they value me. They value my experience and the referral that they got from a friend. And it worked out well for me.
They knew you were the expert.
Exactly. Sold the house in a week.
Wow.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
A lot of furniture replacement. I had to remove the piano from this room to the other room because they had the piano in the living room, which was fine for entertaining the family, but it was awkward when I showed the home.
It did.
But they got the family together and moved that piano and
wow, you did good.
So they listened.
Right?
Exactly.
And it's sold in one week.
It's sold in 1 week.
So you also regular sales. You also do short sales, right?
Yes, I do.
Specialize in short sales.
I don't specialize in short sales. I'm very I'm experienced with short sales.
Okay, so you've done.
So I can have that discussion with my buyers or sellers. So if it's a seller that's selling a home and they need a short sale, I have attorneys and short sale specialists that I can refer because I know in Maryland, I believe agents aren't supposed to negotiate liens. So therefore, attorneys have the privilege to make some short sale specialists. So I send it to them, and so I explain the process to the buyers and sellers. But at the same time, I send the short sale to be negotiated by a professional in that field. Okay.
Yeah. Are you finding that there are, many short sales out there right now in your area?
A lot of short sales out there.
Really?
There's still a lot out there. The market has bounced off quite a bit from, the crisis of some years ago. But there are still some out there.
Okay.
I noticed that a lot of people who have purchased a home maybe a couple of years ago, the value hasn't increased that much.
Yeah.
A lady contacted me. She bought a brand new construction townhome last year in 2018.
Oh wow!
Built
Why
in
is
2018,
she moving?
and she moved. Well, she's moving because she doesn't like her neighbor.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm like, is it that bad? Did you have to move?
Really?
Exactly. And she laid her house out.
Wow.
She had all the upgrades, and the flooring, the cabinets, countertops, and she's willing to just leave it all behind. She just
Oh, wow.
doesn't like her neighbor.
Wow.
So, doesn't happen all the time when you
Yeah.
get a bad neighbor, but
A
happens sometimes.
townhouse or a condo?
It's a townhouse, and she's on the
Okay.
end unit, so she just has one neighbor.
One person. Yeah.
Exactly. Doesn't like that neighbor, so
That's
they don't get along. So I'm going to help.
That's
She
pretty
needs to have
bad.
a share,
Because I always say you check out the neighbors, and
Right.
especially in the condo if you're in a
Yeah, well, I
condo.
always suggest people, especially if you're purchasing a house, to drive the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Before you purchase a home, before we even purchase the offer, if you have the time,
Yeah.
because sometimes you got to put the offer in really quick.
Yeah.
But if you have time to drive up and speak to the neighbor that may be outside relaxing or mowing the lawn or something like
Yeah.
that, talk to them and ask them, and they usually tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually
do.
tell the truth. I haven't gotten one that, because they pick out who the noisy neighbor is, who the disruptive neighbor is, or who the really kind ones are.
Yeah.
That's going to bring you a pie when you go to settlement.
Well,
Yeah.
I used to always tell them to go on a Friday night or a Saturday
Absolutely.
night.
Absolutely. I tell them the same thing.
Yeah.
But you in the hot market,
Yeah.
you know that's not always the case. But before
true.
they put in the offer, they a lot of times they don't have the time, because if the house comes on the market on a Monday,
Right, you're right.
and it's a hot
Absolutely
property,
right, yeah.
If you wait till Friday to
It's
go
gone.
travel in the neighborhood, it's gone on
It's completely
Tuesday.
gone, yeah.
So but nevertheless, even if you put in an offer, you have contingencies and stuff.
Yeah.
That you can probably exercise. But definitely, you want to travel the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Ride around the neighborhood, see what it's like in the evening.
Yeah.
It's the weekends, and hopefully you
It's
get
okay.
neighbors
Yes.
that bring you pies.
Yeah, so you you brought up contingencies. Explain to us, I guess, first-time home buyer, what contingencies they would be able to have in a contract if they're writing an offer for the first time.
Well, a lot of first-time home buyers are nervous, and understandably so. It's the largest, most likely it's the largest purchase of their life, and it's a big transition coming from either their parents' house or living in an apartment or whatever to moving to upgrading.
Yeah.
And so once they put in the offer, sometimes they get cold feet.
Yeah.
Well, what if the house has a leaky roof? What if the house has some problems with the appliances or whatever?
Right.
There's always
Buyer's
inspection.
remorse, yeah.
Buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
You can always have a home inspector come and examine the property, and you have how many days, whether it's 5, 7, 10-day contingency to hire the home inspector. If the home inspector isn't thorough on roofs, then you can hire a roof inspector to examine just the roof only. Now these are all at a cost.
Yeah. Out-of-pocket costs.
Out-of-pocket costs. But you have, and if the home inspection report has too many more repairs than you imagined, then you can cancel the contract.
Yeah.
Based on that.
Yeah,
Or
a
just
laundry list.
basic,
Again, like you were
exactly.
saying, the market is just so busy right now that it's like you go with the laundry list, and it's like the seller will look at you and go, I don't think so, because
Right.
their property probably could have gotten 2 or 3 offers on it.
Exactly. And of course, if you're getting a loan for the property, you know, you want your realtor to put in a finance contingency so that if you can't get the loan, then the deposit that you put up, you know, it was $1,000 or $5,000 deposit, whatever it is, that you get it back. If you can't get the loan, you want to make sure that you get the money back. But you have to do your due diligence. You have to put forth your best effort supplying the lender with all the documents that they ask for, anything that they ask. If you have a little hiccup on your credit, and you need to pay off a $100 credit card or something, that you actually do as the lender asks.
You follow through on everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that contingency also.
Yeah.
There's other different types of contingencies as well, but those are the most
Major
the main ones,
yeah,
yeah,
those are
the
two
most
big
popular
ones
ones, I would say. Yes.
with the contingencies. Yeah, the home inspection and the financing contingency.
Absolutely.
And with both of those,
Most important.
basically, you can get your earnest money deposit back.
Within a certain time frame.
Within a right. Thank you.
Within a certain time frame, you know. Usually the home inspection is maybe 5, 7, or 10 days, and then there's a commitment period. Now I'm speaking from the Maryland.
Right.
Yeah, from the Maryland contract.
The MAR contract.
Yeah,
the Maryland
MAR,
Association.
Usually you allow maybe 21 days, something like that, to get a commitment from the lender.
Yeah.
Commitment is once all of the contingencies has been cleared up or the time frames have passed, then your lender would say, okay, well, we have the appraisal passes, your credit passes, you know, we have all documentation. So yeah, based on all of this, we're willing to commit to you to giving you the loan.
All right. Yeah. And that's a good point that you brought up to the appraisal. A lot what's going on right now with the market and all the multiple offers and stuff like that with buyers, you know, maybe they're bumping up the price a little bit.
Yes, everybody's trying to get the most for the money.
Right.
That's right. And it's driving buyers nuts because buyers are online looking. Buyers are receiving emails from their real estate agents of house listings. So they become familiar with the market that they're interested. So the house that, for example, the house that they saw for $500,000, well, 3 months later, the values may be up to $525,000 or something.
Yeah.
And it may have pushed it over their qualification amount.
Yeah.
So it could be driving nuts.
Yeah.
Also.
It's like very busy market right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else that you would like to share with us? You talked about sellers, CMAs, marketing. Talk to us about, I guess, some of the marketing things that you do for sellers.
Sure, not a problem. Well, you know, I utilize the MLS. First, we must put your property on the MLS. That way, you know, real estate agents are the first ones to get it now, so that the real estate agents that have the buyers that fit the property, you know, they get to take them to the property, you know, first. Even though some of the other websites, Trulia, Zillow, whatever,
they pick them up. Yeah.
They pick them up. They also, but the MLS has the more detailed list of it. Okay, and I'm so what was the question?
Oh, marketing to the sellers.
Marketing, absolutely,
to sellers.
Absolutely. Open
sellers.
houses. You know, I'm big on open houses.
Are you? Okay.
I'm huge on open houses.
Okay.
I should be the open house king.
Really?
Yeah, I've been to open houses for so many years, and even before, you know, at the beginning stages when the internet first came out.
Yeah.
Because before the internet even came out,
yeah.
you know, you had to hold the house open. It's much more complicated back then.
Right.
But now I just, you know, hold the house open because one thing I noticed is that once you do the proper marketing,
mm-hmm.
and people that are interested in that type of house in that area, you know, they'll come.
Yeah.
You know, because it's almost like a free chance to look at the property mm-hmm. uninterrupted. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have a haggling salesperson, their agent on, haggling them to come to purchase the property.
Right.
They can just look at it on their own, the family or whatever. And I've sold a lot of houses at the open house.
Really?
Exactly. Can't say sold, but written offers for it. Just like the buyers were already pre-approved or approved. You know, so that's another reason that you want to get approved as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that if you go to open house and you see property that you like, you can act quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of the open house, so a lot of properties right there at the open house, and that's why I know that that is a tool that's extremely effective.
Yeah, see, that's why you love them, because you've had really good success with them. Yeah,
exactly.
that's good. Cause
Yeah. I know how to get to the buyer's motivation.
Yeah.
You know, get an understanding, understanding what they're looking for and their time frames and everything, and the qualifications.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, once you get that, you know, if they're ready, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Now, one big question for you. What do you enjoy other than real estate?
Oh boy. So now we're going to go to the personal side.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I enjoy socializing.
Socializing, yeah.
Being out, you know, as a realtor, you know, we're all over the place, as I mentioned, you know, all over the place. I'm from D.C. to Maryland to Anne Arundel County down to Waldorf, from all over the place, and I learned a lot. I've learned about so many different social spots, restaurants, you know, things like that. I don't mind just stopping in and, you know, to a small mom pop restaurant with a, you know, different culture, different type of foods, and
that's fun stuff.
Absolutely,
I like that. That's fun stuff. We'll have to do some of that together.
Sure.
Yeah, because you know DC, right?
You know,
we'll do that.
DC is always morphing.
Yeah.
It just changes on a daily basis.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised in DC, but now DC is totally different.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might be able to tell me some spots.
I don't know DC that well. I'm trying to learn, and I'm learning Virginia now too.
Okay.
But so we're almost out of time. If you want to share really quick your information, your website, your phone number for our folks.
Okay. If you go to dmvhousehunter.com, there you can pull up the House Hunter video. I also have my name, my phone number, broker's information in case you need to contact them for some reason. And there's information on there that you can learn about purchasing a home, and maybe some tips on there for selling a home as well.
Yeah. Well, Les, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Very welcome. We'll see you guys next week at 1:30. Thank you for being with us, and we will see you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's over that quick. It's the 30.